This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent Podcast, hosted by me, Kelly Donnie Upiro. This show is for growing insurance agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. Listen to the top agency performance partners clients share their story on how they boosted their performance by executing a plan. Let's head to the show. Hey everyone, as we return from the Thanksgiving season of everything and get into the end of year mad dash, we wanted to do 4 videos for you on how to set goals for the new year. And I know, hey, we've all thought about goals, but I find so many agencies are unclear on what to do and how to make it work. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to dive in here and make sure that we have a good, clear plan on how to set goals. So we've got 4 videos of you between myself and Heath Sharon, the mayor here of Insurance Town, and he's kind of the unofficial mayor of APP too, on some strategies for you to set goals and what you need to be thinking about. So without further ado, let's take it away to the first video. So one strategy to think about when setting goals is figure out where are you now. And I know this can be frustrating for agents because you pull a report from your management system and well, maybe it's not right or you don't have faith in it. So you're unclear on where you start. My strategy is that we need to talk about that data. That report needs to get right. It's not optional anymore. We can't simply say the report's not right, so we're just not having goals. Now is the year that we're going to make our data right. We are going to learn about it. We're going to learn about the reports, learn about the workflows, understand it so that you know where you are now. This is similar to if you want to lose weight or you want to run faster or whatever it is, you want to save money, you have to understand where you are now. And this can be so scary. If you think about your finances, knowing how much you are in debt can be terrifying, right? You have mortgages and student loan debts, and all of a sudden that number might make you want to throw up, but that's okay. You know, you have to be vulnerable enough to put yourself in those situations so that you can get better. Knowing that number is the best step in the right direction. So listen to our 3-minute video on how to make that happen. Hey everyone. So this week we're going to talk a little bit about how to set goals because I think it's one of those things in agencies we just shy away from. We don't like doing it because it makes us vulnerable. We have fear. People don't remember them. So what we do is we go into defense protection mode, like a little hedgehog in a ball, and say, I'm not going to have goals. The problem with that is that without a target, no one knows what success is. And no one knows what we're trying to hit towards. And what I know is this has 2 negative side effects. One, we're always thinking, hey, it's too small. If we don't put a target out there, the worst thing that happens, we come far closer than if we had no target at all. And the second thing that I see kind of happening with the goals is that, unfortunately, we don't know how to track them, or we don't think that the team buys in. And I think that this is just one of those ways that it keeps us too safe, and we need to be a little bit more audacious. But a lot of times people don't know how to set a goal. And so that's where the whole thing goes off the rails. So the first step to setting a goal is knowing where you are now. I equate a lot of goal setting to losing weight or hitting a personal financial goal. You have to look in your bank account and say, well, if I'm negative $50, the first step is getting that to be positive, and that's a good step. If the goal is, your team's selling $100,000 in premium enough, we'll shoot 10% higher. I'll tell you here at APP, what we're doing for next year is we're trying to set a goal of growth by 10%, but a big, hairy, audacious goal, which Heath Sharon's going to talk about tomorrow with you guys, of 18%. So I want to say 10% I'm happy with, 18% I am extra excited about, and that's important. So the idea of setting goals is you got to find out where you are now. So I know we've been growing at about 10% clip. And we've made some additions to the team, like Heath, and 2 new team members earlier this year that I think are really taking root. So now we can clear away any obstacles for them to grow. So the first step is where are you now? What have you been growing by? And then starting to work your way into what a goal is. And you can have more than one goal, which Heath will talk about. So if one doesn't seem too much, don't shoot for too crazy. Shoot for something attainable. Now, not easy, attainable. And that's a real big difference. Attainable means that, with some elbow grease, we can hit it. Going and saying we're going to double production, that's probably not attainable. Now, if you start getting the ball rolling and everything's aligning, you can keep upping that goal, no doubt. But keep in the back of your mind, you are going to want to keep setting these goals routinely and make them obtainable. And the next thing you have to do is write them down. Well, not written down just as, conversation. So take a moment, write your goals down, and become very passionate about what you're trying to accomplish. And that's our first step to setting goals. So this video I love because I sat down and did this year, and I targeted 10% growth and 18% growth. And also I targeted it over 10 years if we compounded that growth. And what I found at the end of 10 years was, I showed it to my husband. I was like, holy macaroni. If we grow by 18%, this is a whole different ballpark, and got me really excited to hit the big, hairy, audacious goal. So we're going to talk today about two goals. Your goal that is like, it's good growth, it's safe growth, you can achieve it, you know you can taste it. But then what if we got crazy? What if we got out of control? What if we hit that next tier? What would that truly look like? And when you do the two, seeing that number at the end of 10 years might get you a little bit more inspired by that goal. Watch our next video.
Hey, what's going on, guys? The mayor here. He's Sharon, and the newest member of the APP team. Super pumped to be hanging out with you guys again today. And again, I say, pat yourself on the back. Be proud of yourself for being here today, because I think it's super cool that you've invested into your growth as a insurance professional. As we head into a new year, we're talking about what everybody's talking about right now, setting goals. Everybody wants to set their New Year's resolutions. I want to lose 25 pounds. I want to stop smoking. I want to quit drinking. I want to go to church more. I want to be a better parent, whatever that may be. But if you set those goals as an agency owner, if you set those goals as an insurance professional, have you set those goals in your career as well? Today I want to talk to you about that a little bit. And I think it's super crucial that we do that and not just set vague or arbitrary goals of, those vague goals of, I want to grow my business or I want to, write more policies or whatever it may be. I think it's important that we get a little more specific on those. And I would even say maybe have two, maybe have one that you'd be happy with and one that would just astound you. And I think that would be huge. I subscribe to that with a stretch goal and then your BHAG. And so for that stretch goal for agencies, most commonly set as like an overall business goal or grow by X percentage, or, you might look at it as a retention goal to say you want to grow your retention and put a specific in there. And then, what I would say is, maybe have those two to have a specific of, let's use an example of retention. If you want to, your stretch goal might be, to grow it by X amount percent you'd be happy with. If you got there, it'd be great. And then you might set another one on top of that to say, I want to grow by X much higher. And that would just astound you, to say, you want to get to 98% retention. If you got there, that's a big, hairy, audacious goal. But I think you got to have those to work towards. But also think there's goal setting and then there's goal doing. And that's something that I've adopted over the last several years in my own personal life that I think is crucial. I talk to my kids about it. It's one thing to say, for my son who plays basketball to be able to say, I want to, have a, high percentage of free throws. Well, how are you going to do that, son? Are you going to get out there every day and shoot free throws after school? You're going to go in the mornings before school and do that? Are you going to work on your form every day? My daughter, I hate to use sports analogies, but I'm a dad who coaches his kids. And so, my daughter wants to shave several points off her golf score. Well, how are you going to do that? Are you going to get out there and you work on your chipping and your putting? Are you going to get out there and work on driving? You got to get there every single day and do it. I say the same thing for you as an insurance professional. If you want to improve your loss ratio, or if you want to improve your retention, or if you want to improve a strategy or some sort of goal in your agency, you got to, put some things around there and some goals to go around those things, some tasks to go around that to make sure that you achieve those goals. Guys, I really go back to, two goals, a stretch goal and a BHAG. Big, hairy, audacious goal. I can't speak today. So I hope this video helped you today, and I hope it's something that you got something out of. If you did, subscribe to the channel, forward this to a friend of yours, something to that effect, and continue to watch these as they come through every day. Hope you have a great day today.
So I'll never forget walking into an agency where I said, what do you want, to the agency owner? And their response to me was like, I want this place to feel good. And I was like, whoa, feelings don't have brains and I can't measure feelings. And feelings are often all over the place. So feelings might not be the best measure of what we're trying to accomplish here. Every one of your goals has to be measurable and reportable so that we can actually take a moment and see what's going on. And when we see what's going on, we can do something about it. But if the goal is a feeling or something very Jello-like, unfortunately, it's not a goal. That might be a project more than anything. So watch our video on how you need to have reportable goals. So our next tip on how to set goals is you really have to think about the parameters of your reporting. And I've been very vocal about my dislike for insurance reporting. I think it's too hard, too cumbersome. And I think in a lot of ways, we just need a lot more simplicity. But that doesn't give us an excuse to not set goals and not report on them. So we also have to step into that challenge. So one of the things I really want to talk about is when you pick a goal, you have to be able to measure it very quickly. Everybody should have access to it. If they don't, then you, the leader, need to go ahead and send out communication every Friday. And you should be doing this even if they do have access to it. Because lo and behold, people typically don't seek out that information. So your job is to say, well, what is something I can measure? And I want to be clear. A lot of times I think with goals, we think too far ahead. Well, I want to do this, I want to do this. Like, just stay right here, right now. It's probably going to take your team about 90 days to even get used to it, understand the metric, how it gets there, all of the above. But don't pick things that you cannot easily report on. For example, if you cannot easily report on the number of increases in coverage, then you shouldn't pick it. If you cannot easily report on how many conversions from state minimum to a better coverage, then don't pick it. Instead, pick something you can do. I like to say this, that, a centimeter and an inch still measure things. It just are two different elements. As long as you see progress, you know your agency is going in the right direction. Don't get so lost in the weeds that you can't see the forest through the trees. And you will iterate on this because, again, 90 days for people to even become used to this. So when you're picking your goals, make sure it's something you can measure easily, simply, and you trust the data. That's the other one. If you don't trust the data, you need to do the hard work of getting on the phone with your management system, going ahead and understanding it. Don't just throw your hands in the air. That's a defeatist attitude. And you want to live in a world of abundance. So that's our tip for today. Have a great day. Now, this last one is probably the one that I feel most passionately about, where we miss the mark. So go into an agency and you do a big yay rah rah meeting. Here's our goals, but there's absolutely no plan to actually get there. That's right. It's hit 10% growth. How? What are we going to invest in? What's the plan? What's the outcome? Are we doing training? Are we doing a marketing campaign? What is the plan? Sometimes it feels to employees just like do more, which is a great way to demotivate people. So what we want to do is say, for every goal you have, there should be a defined plan on how we're going to make that happen. We can make that happen. We're in a world of goodness. So watch this video on your plan associated with your goal.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the mayor here. He's Sharon. I am super pumped to be hanging out with you guys today because we're talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. We've been talking about it all week, and that's setting goals and how to set goals. And this is something that I'm working on in my own personal life, something that I've been trying to do better at every single year, and something I talk to my kids about, to agents about every single day, not just New Year's resolution goals or not just, year-end goals or whatever. It's something that I subscribe to all throughout the year. And I really think it's super important within your agency. I talked last time about, my son and my daughter wanting to improve in golf or in basketball and how they're going to get there, and something I push them on. And so I ask you in your agency, not only setting the goal, but how are you going to get there? Every time I go out of town to visit with agents or to see people, or even on vacation, and I don't know where I'm going, what do? We jump on the phone, we plug it in to our GPS. And then we have Siri or whatever the name of your voice is on your phone to tell you step by step how to get there. It's like magic. I always change the voice from Siri's voice typically to like a British voice or South African or something else like that, because I think it's cool to have that British accent in there. So whatever that is for you. I love that because, again, it's step by step directions. I don't even think about it. I just plug it in, listen to it, and just go. I want you to do the same thing in your agency. As a professional insurance agent, you've got to have that goal mapped out for your staff, for yourself, for your agency, to make sure that nobody's in the dark. Don't expect your team or whoever is around you just to figure it out. You've got to lay that out step by step. we used the example before of retention. So today, let's talk about onboarding. If you want to improve your onboarding experience, how are you going to do that? And let's set some meetings ahead of time. Let's assign some tasks to certain people. Let's get your team members involved and say, okay, here's what we're going to do here. What do you think about this? And then let's lay it out step by step of what it looks like. And then let's set up follow-up reminders in your calendar or reminders in your task on your agency management system or CRM, whatever that looks like. Make sure you set that out so that you can remind yourself so that 2 months from now, it wasn't just a great idea to set that goal, but you're actually doing it. And I think you got to, provide your team with resources. Let's say there's a specific book on the onboarding experience or how to improve your retention, or you might find some podcasts that you might want to listen to on this certain topic, or some different articles that you've read, or something like that. You want to lay out those resources for your team to be able to follow that, or for your coworkers or whatever that may be. Let's not leave any people in the dark. Let's provide some educational resources for them on how to get there, and let's lay out that roadmap so that every step of the way is covered, and that you don't have to think about it. It's done. And you set those reminders, you set those tasks, you do the follow-up, you talk about it in your sales meeting. It becomes part of your culture. We're going to achieve this goal in 2022. It is something that's maybe you put something on your walls, maybe you put something on your calendar, maybe you put something on the whiteboard, something to remind you of this goal every single day. Let's make sure that we achieve this step by step. I think that's super crucial. I really hope that this video has helped you today. If it has, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Send it to one of your friends or coworker. Let's make sure that we achieve those goals. And hope you have a great day today.
Well, oh my goodness, we hit 4 new ways to think about goals this week. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully you're driving a car, listening to this at your office. However you're enjoying our content, we appreciate you and thank you. We hope that you have a great holiday season. You might be listening to this in February being like, what's she talking about? But this does launch in December. And we also want to say, if you enjoy our content, share it with your team, share it with other agency owners, share it on social media. We have no sponsors for any of this. And we do this because we want agents to see how we can go out there and be the best agents that we can be. And sometimes that takes just a little bit of motivation each week, or sometimes it takes having a strategy. We hope that you find these videos very tactical, something that you can take home and do right away. Well, with that news, we'll say, let's get you back to work, back to your office, and setting goals for your team.